Have you ever wondered what happens when racism backfires in the worst way possible? What happened? Well, you're about to find out. The entrance of the Maplewood Hotel boasted marble floors, golden chandeliers, and the faint scent of lavender in the air. It was a place of luxury, catering to an elite clientele that expected nothing less than perfection. It basically looked, felt, and smelled like wealth. Behind the front desk, Matthew Carter, the hotel manager, stood tall in his pristine navy blue suit, his sharp features set in a perpetual expression of authority. Mr. Carter was good at his job. He was methodical and strict, and people respected that. But he also had a different side, one that wasn't that positive, a side that was, to be honest, disgusting. That evening, a woman named Alana Brooks stepped through the entrance, rolling her designer suitcase behind her. She was effortlessly elegant, dressed in a crisp white blazer and high-waisted trousers. Her dark skin glowed under the lobby's golden light, her afro neatly styled, and her diamond-studded earrings subtly catching the glimmer. She walked with confidence, exuding power. But as she moved through the lobby, a shift occurred. Staff members exchanged uneasy glances, hushed murmurs rippling through the air. To you watching at home at this point, it might seem too obvious that it was something racially charged, but for Alana, it wasn't like that. She reached the front desk, smiling politely. "Good evening. I have a reservation. Alana Brooks." The receptionist's smile faltered. "One moment, please." She hurried off toward Matthew's office, lowering her voice as she whispered, "There's a woman at the desk claiming she has a reservation. Well, I don't think she's our usual clientele." Matthew glanced through the glass of his office, his lips tightening as he assessed Alana. He straightened his tie as if he was about to do something important, and said, "I'll handle it." Striding out, he fixed a polite, forced smile on his face. "Good evening. I'm Matthew Carter, the hotel manager. How may I assist you?" Alana extended her hand, which Matthew hesitated before shaking. "I have a reservation under Alana Brooks." Matthew tapped on the computer, his frown deepening. "I don't see a reservation under that name." Alana raised an eyebrow, sliding her phone across the counter. "I booked a luxury suite a week ago. Here's the confirmation email." Matthew barely glanced at it before shaking his head. He wasn't even checking the reservations. In his mind, there was no way someone who was black could afford to stay at this hotel. So he just decided to plead ignorance, saying this, "I'm sorry, but there must have been an error in our system. We're fully booked tonight." Alana's eyes narrowed. "An error?" Matthew's voice grew firmer. He was slowly but surely getting tired of acting, and his true colors started slipping up. "Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do. I suggest trying another hotel, perhaps one more suited to your needs." A slow, knowing smile spread across Alana's face. "I see." She picked up her phone and, without another word, dialed a number. "Hey, Robert. Yeah, I'm at the Maplewood Hotel. No, they're saying there's no record of my reservation." "Uh-huh, I see." She locked eyes with Matthew, her voice calm but dripping with authority. "You'll be hearing from my lawyers." Matthew rolled his eyes, scoffing. "Look, ma'am, this isn't personal. We just have a standard we like to uphold and, well, you should understand that certain clientele aren't exactly what we cater to." Alana's lips twitched into a smirk. She didn't know whether to laugh or cry at that moment. But after collecting herself instantly, she decided to take a stand. "Oh, I understand perfectly. You just made the biggest mistake of your career." As Alana walked out of the hotel, she immediately contacted her public relations team. Within hours, the #sign boycott Maplewood was trending worldwide. Major media outlets picked up the story, and within 24 hours, the backlash against the hotel reached a fever pitch. Celebrities, activists, and influencers took to social media to condemn the blatant discrimination. Before we continue, make sure you like and subscribe. Don't be like Matthew. Don't ignore us. Now let's get back to the story. The next morning, Matthew arrived at work to a scene of chaos. Reporters lined the sidewalk outside the hotel, cameras flashing, voices shouting questions. He barely made it through the entrance when his assistant rushed up to him, eyes wide with panic. "Sir, we have a problem. Our viewers aren't subbed and they didn't even like the video yet." "Okay, sorry about that. But us appreciating your support isn't a joke. So please show us some love. Now back to the story. Matthew turned on the lobby television. His stomach dropped as he saw the breaking news headline. Prominent black businesswoman denied stay at luxury hotel. Racial discrimination? Alana Brooks was no ordinary guest. She was the CEO of one of the largest real estate firms in the country, with millions of followers and a vast network of influence. And now the entire world knew exactly how she had been treated. By noon, sponsors were pulling deals, celebrities were boycotting, and the hotel's stock had plummeted. Calls flooded in, demanding Matthew's resignation. He rushed to his office, desperate to salvage the situation, but it was too late. The CEO of the hotel chain himself had flown in. He was waiting for Matthew with a grim expression. Effective immediately, you are relieved of your duties, he said coldly. We don't tolerate discrimination. Matthew sat in stunned silence, his career crumbling before his eyes. Sir, please, No. The CEO shook his head. We cannot afford a PR nightmare of this magnitude. Pack your things. Meanwhile, Alana stood at a podium, addressing the press. This isn't just about me. It's about every black person who has been treated as less than in places they rightfully belong. And trust me, this is only the beginning. The Maplewood Hotel closed its doors within weeks, unable to recover from the backlash. As for Alana, she thrived, using her influence to create spaces where no one would ever have to experience what she did. But this was far from over. Alana had made it her mission to expose other institutions guilty of discrimination. She hired a team of legal experts and private investigators to uncover patterns of racism in luxury establishments. Within months, 3 more high-profile hotels were exposed for similar behavior, leading to massive lawsuits and reputational damage. 1 year later, Matthew sat in a modest apartment, scrolling through job postings. No one in the industry would touch him. His once glorious career was in shambles, and he found himself working as a desk clerk at a low-budget motel. The humiliation was endless, as guests barely acknowledged him. Meanwhile, Alana's movement had sparked nationwide discussions. She founded an organization called Hospitality for All, which advocated for racial equality in the hospitality industry. Her influence grew beyond hotels. Corporate chains, airlines, and even luxury boutiques began implementing stricter diversity and inclusion policies. Her work earned her recognition in major publications, and she became a sought-after speaker at business summits. Months later, Alana attended a business gala where she was honored for her advocacy. The room was filled with powerful executives, politicians, and celebrities. She smiled as she took the stage, glancing at the back of the room where a man in a cheap suit stood near the entrance. Matthew, his shoulders slumped, his eyes hollow. She turned back to the audience. Tonight isn't about revenge. It's about progress. We must ensure that no one is ever made to feel unwelcome because of the color of their skin. The final blow to Matthew came when he saw Alana on television, accepting an award for her work in social justice. The very woman he had dismissed as unworthy of a luxury hotel had not only destroyed his career, but changed the entire industry. And Matthew? He faded into obscurity, a cautionary tale of what happens when prejudice meets power. What a piece of work he was, right? Do you think that, in a way, he even got off easy? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.